A bright and cheerful morning to one and all. It's such a pleasure to have so many pretty smiles on this screen, making me feel so very refreshed. And I, Binita Sethia, am truly feeling blessed to be your companion throughout this engaging, informative, and an enriching meeting. It is rightly said that doing the best at this moment puts us in the best place for the next moment. And just as the sunny morning is extending its rays all over us, the session, based on awareness on financial matters with our esteemed guest speaker, shall illuminate us all alike. With this and a lot more of briefing about the year, I now call this Empowerment Women's Special Closed Door meeting to order. It is our part to seek, His to grant what we ask, ours to make a beginning, His to bring it to a completion, ours to offer what we can, His to finish and bless. With this, may I now request Ms. Divya Marda for the prayer and the bhajan. Over to Ms. Divya Marda.
Hello. Om Astu Ma Sadgamaya Om Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya Om Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. तेरा मंगल तेरा मंगल तेरा मंगल होए रे सबका मंगल सबका मंगल सबका मंगल होए रे जिस गुरुदेव ने धर्म दिया है उनका मंगल होए रे जिस जननी ने जन्म दिया है उसका मंगल होए रे पाला पोसा बड़ा किया उस पिता का मंगल होए रे इस जगत के सब दुखियारे प्राणी का मंगल होए रे जल में स्थल में और गगन में सबका मंगल होए रे अंतर मन की गांठें टूटे अंतर निर्मल होए रे राग द्वेष मोह मिट कर जाए शील समाधि होए रे शुद्ध धर्म धरती पर जागे पाप पराजित होए रे इस धरती के तरतिन में कण कण में धर्म समूह रे शुद्ध धर्म जन जन में जागे घर घर शांति समूह रे तेरा मंगल मेरा मंगल सबका मंगल होए रे सबका मंगल होए रे सबका मंगल होए रे
Thank you, Divya, for such a soulful bhajan. As we all have always heard, वीर प्रभु का नाम लेकर शुरू करे जो काम संकट कभी ना आवे सदा रहे आराम. So this is so very true, setting the vibes with such a positive bhajan. Good leaders create a vision, articulate the vision, passionately own that vision, and relentlessly drive it to completion, committed to such committed to successful completion of all the events. The dynamic lady who has personified excellence is our president, Ms. Usha Bhagia, whom I now invite to address the gathering. Over to Ms. Usha Bhagia.
Good morning, founders, coordinators, and members. Before that, I regret to announce the demise of Meera Shah and Deepali Parikh's mother-in-law, Lata Agarwal's father-in-law, and Vaishali Shah's father. So, good morning to all of you. This is our 10th meeting. So, when the pandemic started, everybody was very skeptical about the Zoom meeting. When I first said I would have the meeting, many members were not exactly unhappy, but they were very skeptical. But now they all seem to have enjoyed, and we have had 10 meetings. First we thought we'll have 4 meetings and we'll have a physical meeting, but as the corona increased, so we decided to have the virtual meeting, and it was so wonderful to be virtually connected with all the members every month. I and my committee, the best of our ability, try to give you all the interesting programs, whatever we could do to the best of our ability. I hope you all enjoyed. I had thought of so many good programs when I took the presidentship. I thought we'll have a lot of outdoor meetings, but they say now man proposes, God disposes. But thanks to the technical advancement, actually we were able to virtually connect to ourselves. And today's meeting, ladies, there will be awareness on financial matters among women, and to some point of time, we all have been not exactly cheated. When we go for the demonstration, they use MLM, multi-level marketing. So when we go to attend the demonstration, we feel so happy. We buy the stuff. When we bring it to the house, sometimes it doesn't work. So there are some kind of fraud. So we all have been subjected to that. And today is our guest speaker, Aruna, a very dear friend, will going to enlighten on that, and also on the awareness on financial matter among women. Now, ladies, this year has been very memorable year, and I'm very happy to all the members, especially our founders, who have been very encouraging, very, very supportive. After each meeting, my founders would send me beautiful messages on my personal window, and that made me kept on going. I said, oh my God, I have to do better, because they are so happy. So this is the encouragement I got from my founders. Thank you so very much. And all the members. During lockdown, we all are very busy with the family. We have house, we have husbands around, children running around. Even then, all the members, they took 1 hour and they logged into their whatever device they use. So thank you, members. And I cannot end my speech without thanking my committee. My excellent committee, all the members, all the committee members, Aarti, Zaini, Meera, Akita Malhotra, Mansi, and Rama. They were so supportive. And also, last but not the least, my 2 advisors. I think without them, I wouldn't have been able to do anything. They were like all the time helping me, all the time encouraging me. So members, Toral seemed little, sometimes she's very hard, but she's like a very tender coconut. She'll be hard from inside, but when you open, she's very soft. Thank you, Toral. Thank you, Kavita. And I should also thank Bina Mehta. She choreographed our signature meetings in this lockdown. Thank you, Vinita, very much. And also, I would like to thank Pranay. Pranay, without you, we wouldn't have a very good meeting. And because of you, we had a very smooth meeting. And once, in some other Zoom meeting, we've had a very bad experience of, somebody, hacking the thing. But because of Pranay, we didn't have to, experience all that. And ladies, I would like to thank all my MCs. Whenever I called the ladies to be my MC to render the virgins, nobody said no. They were very, very happy. So I would like to thank, I'll take out all the names, Simran, Vandana Sete, Vandana Pai, Hira Rupani, Pallavi, Patiksha, Punita, Dipti Mehta, Heer Pujala, Shobha Bansal, Mansi, Alka Sodani, Rekha Lahoti, Meghna Banusali, Santosh Lakhotia, Vinita Setia and Divya Marda in advance. Thank you so very much. And ladies, it has been a wonderful year for all of us. I think very memorable year. I don't think we'll ever have a Zoom meeting in future. And I would like to extend my heartiest congrats to the next committee and wish them all the success. Thank you very much. What do you? Hi ladies, good afternoon. This pandemic has taught me to be a very expert cook. Today I have made foxtail millet pulao, very healthy. I'm going to just add spring onions. I've added spring onions, ladies. My foxtail millet pulao is ready. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone. Beside these beautiful paintings, this pandemic and lockdown, the most important thing I have learned is to be content and self-dependent. Initially, though it was very difficult, annoying, irritating, but as the days passed by, me and my family, we started helping each other in every single chores of the house. Also finding time to watch movie together, playing family games, making fun of each other. We were creating beautiful memories, as well as discovering and valuing each other more than never before. At the end, I think we were enough and happy in small little things.
Staying home has helped me in developing a perspective of finding happiness in what you have and where you are. Though it tested our patience but had opened up with new ideas, it gave me an ample of time of self-care and self-love, which I have taught my kids. We had done yoga stretches together, baked so many dishes, learned so many healthy snacks together. It was a perfect family time.
This video has been a lovely tool that all the creative minds have used to express what the heart has felt during the pandemic. And what a lovely name, Experimental 2020. And definitely this has created a lovely buzz this bright morning. It has been a lovely visual treat. Thanks to all the committee members for such dedicated efforts. Moving ahead, as we had just heard our president say right now, Ms. Usha, as she said about the advisors, what I could gather was that true guidance is like a small torch in a dark forest. It may not show everything at once, but enough light for the next step to be placed ahead. With this, I now request our advisor, Mrs. Kavita Bhatia ji, to kindly say a few words. Over to Ms. Kavita Bhatia.
Thank you, Vinita. Good afternoon, members. Thank you, Usha, for your lovely words. The year 2020 has taught us that life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. And we Sanskriti members did just that. We sang, we danced, we meditated, we played interesting games, we heard some great speakers, and we stayed in touch with each other. The past year has changed our lives substantially. People started working, shopping, eating differently. So in June 2020, we coordinators, along with President Mrs. Usha Bhagia and the committee, decided to start our meetings on Zoom on an experimental basis to keep up with the current scenario and to stay connected with our members. It involved a lot of planning and a lot of effort and some convincing. But I'm happy to say our young and dynamic committee under the able leadership of Mrs. Usha Bhagia worked really hard to make it happen. They juggle their children's online schooling, exams, husbands working from home, their own work and home commitments, and did a wonderful job. I'm sure everyone will agree that this has been a good year. And I'm happy to say our meetings were well appreciated. And at most of our meetings, we had an attendance of more than 70%. So a big thank you to our members for your wholehearted support and encouragement. I would like to specially mention here that all this was done without collecting the annual fees for the year 2020-21. I'm sorry, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, great. Okay. So yeah, I will say this again. I would like to specially mention here that all this was done without collecting the annual fees for the year 2020-21. It wasn't easy, but I'm proud to say we did it. As we come to the end of this unique term, I extend my heartiest congratulations to our President, Mrs. Usha Bhagia, for leading the committee from the front and giving us a wonderful year. Thank you, Usha. Toral and I have really enjoyed working with you. Our respected founders usually present a small token of appreciation to the committee at this point. But since they have retired from active duty, we coordinators would be honored to continue this tradition. As we couldn't do it personally this time, we have sent the gifts to them. I think you'll see them shortly. Yep, there it is. Yeah, just some plants. It's a pleasure to watch them grow. So, yeah. Moving on, I take great pleasure in inviting Mrs. Aarti Shah as president for the year 21-22. Congratulations, Aarti. They're looking forward to a super year. Coordinator Mrs. Renu Swaroop will share her invaluable experience as advisor to the committee. Assisting Aarti on the committee are Mrs. Mansi Kankaria, Mrs. Zeni Momaya, Mrs. Rama Patwa, Mrs. Akita Malhotra, and joining the team as co-opted member is Mrs. Nandita Trivedi. Congrats, Aarti.
Thank you so much.
The fee for the next term, that is 21-22, will be rupees 9,000. We have not admitted new members this year as it was not logistically possible. We hope to do so in the coming year. We also know that our members are missing the conventional meetings, and we agree that meeting each other in person, like in the normal times, is better. So as soon as things are normal in June, we will go back to our in-person meetings. Last year has been one unending storm. It has left us sometimes battered and sometimes bruised, but it has also taught us how strong and resilient we are. So let's do our best to stay safe and take all precautions and come out of this in one piece. Till we meet again, it's me, Kavita, signing off as advisor. Thank you. Over to you, Benita.
I now take the privilege to invite our founder, esteemed founder, Mrs. Renu Jeevan, to share her thoughts with us. Over to Mrs. Renu Jeevan.
Yeah. On behalf of the founders and myself, I want to extend heartiest congratulations to Usha and her team, and of course the advisor. In spite of pandemic, the full year was given us very interesting and entertaining programs. So kudos to Usha and her committee and full team. My heartiest congratulations and keep it up. It requires a big clap from everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Vidita.
Thank you. With a round of applause for the team which has done excellent work during the pandemic, teaching us so much and how to move ahead in life, not restricting ourselves to what the situation brings upon us, but to move ahead with a happy heart and with so much of learning. So congratulations to the team, which was led by President Mrs. Usha Bhagia, and congratulations to the incoming team. Again, the dynamic personality, as I could call her, Ms. Aarti Shah. So congratulations. And now moving ahead, as we have always heard and read about a person who has loads of responsibilities and little power. And I know that you must be thinking that I am talking of the secretary, Mrs. Mansi Kankaria. Then let me tell you, you're not mistaken about it. But then, owing to ill health, I would now request the Joint Secretary, Ms. Rama Patwa, to please present the annual accounts. Over to Ms. Rama Patwa.
A very good morning, all of you. Here is the glimpses of the year what we have spent. 2020 was a year of uncertainty and fear owing to the pandemic, which threw us all off balance. Yet it was a matter of importance for us to stay connected. And so we made it through Zoom meetings. Here is a quick summary of the things we have managed to achieve. We had our 31st installation meeting in the presence of IAS Collector, Mrs. Harichandra Dasari. The meeting pertained to the formation of a new committee under the leadership of President Mrs. Usha Bhagia and the guidance of coordinators Mrs. Toral Desai and Ms. Kavita Bhatia. In July, we welcomed Master Meenakshi Devi, Rekha Reddy and Sharda Reddy who demonstrated the grateful craft of flower arrangements, also known as Ikebana. As anticipated, this had all the participants glued to their screens. Lady Sanskriti was awarded to Avni Chheda, who was elegantly decked up in florals. As a competitions, members were encouraged to present their take on Ikebana by assembling flower arrangements. First prize was awarded to Avni Chheda once again, while the second prize was given to Miss Vandana Shetty and Miss Pallavi Archuri. In August, the ladies of Sanskriti brought in the Independence Day with a spirit of patriotism. We had the honor of welcoming Major Ravi Kshetrapal as the chief guest, who shed lights on the courageous role the women carry out in the domain of defense as fighter pilots. Lady Sanskriti was awarded to Mrs. Sachi Bhanushali. September brought along with it an opportunity to celebrate the diverse festival prevalent across communities in India. We at Sanskriti chose 4 festivals: Saraswati Puja of Bengal, Bihu of Assam, Dhingra Gaura of Jodhpur, and Lohri of Punjab. It was a pleasant afternoon coupled with active participation by members who were divided into 4 groups mentioned above and engaged in portraying the culture, tradition, and special cuisine that accompanies these festivals. In October, we conducted our signature Garbha meeting. The efforts put in by our committee made sure that the pandemic did not lower the spirits of Sanskriti's Ras Garbha. Members dance and twirl in beautiful outfits in the comfort of their home to bring Navratri with an atmosphere of positivity. The 2 forms of competition introduced were Garbha decoration and Garbi decoration and family Garbha. As tradition goes, we had our esteemed founders and coordinators light the lamp and commence the first Garba, which was later followed by committee members. Then we also had a group dance performance choreographed by Miss Beena Mehta. The dance was recorded and was played via the Zoom link. The prizes of family Garba was awarded to Mrs. Uma Baldava, while the prize for Garbi decoration was given to Bhavna Sengoi. Some more interesting awards presented that afternoon were Best Makeup Santosh Lokhotia, Best Dressed Rupa Kadakia, Best Jewelry Kalpana Kadakia, Best Hair Look Vandana Shetty, Best Backdrop Kumud Dharia, and Best Dancer on Open Dance Floor Vandana Pai. Our November meeting was all about glamming up for our home, our homes with elegance and an eye for detail. Famous interior designer Mrs. Sona Chitwani put together an informative and interactive session full of tips related to accessorizing our homes by also keeping in mind the right platter of color combinations. Lady Sanskriti here was a tie between Mrs. Uma Baldava and Miss Pratima Gupta. Our December meeting was a one-of-a-kind session because it addressed a unique topic: how plants are capable of making music. This interesting session was led by our guest, Mr. Triton Kisatemo, who presented an orchestra containing only plants. Lady Sanskriti was awarded to Mrs. Sachi Bhanushali, who described the mechanism through which plants make music through radio activities. In the month of January, we held our annual event, which was a complete family dhamal. This session was led by a Mumbai-based online company, the Board Game Company. They organized a family treasure hunt, which proved to be an entertaining session among the families of our members. The prizes were awarded as follows: first prize Sangeeta Surana, second prize Pallavi Archuri, and third prize Lata Mumaya. In February, we at Sanskriti conducted a gong therapy workshop to promote healing and a sense of well-being amongst our members. It was a relaxing afternoon where members mediated to alter their states of consciousness by listening to the sound bath put together by Mrs. Priyanka Patel. So this was the highlights of the year what we have passed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rama, for giving us such a wonderful overview of the complete year. And now it's time to count upon the person whom we've counted upon for all the counts and whose wonderful job, I would say, is beyond all counts. May we now have the treasurer, Ms. Jenny Momaya, for the account presentation for the year. Over to Ms. Jenny.
Thank you, Binita. Good afternoon, ladies. Accounts for the year June 2020 to March 2021 is as follows. Opening balance sheet amount was 1,32,461 rupees, out of which our online Zoom host Pranay Rupaniji has been paid 69,000 so far by cash and check. Rupees 7,000 is being used as gifts for the various programs. Rupees 8,000 has been paid to our February guest speaker Priyanka Patel. Rupees 10,000 has been paid to the auditor Ravi Tanna for the year 2019 to March 2020. Total cash spent until now is rupees 94,000 and cash in hand is rupees 7,000, which makes the total grand total of rupees 1,01,000 so far. Rupees 31,461 rupees is being charged by the bank towards consolidated charges and GST. This makes the account complete for the year June 2020 to March 2021. And beside this, there were sponsorships made for some speaker meets and gifts as well, out of which contribution was made by Usha Bhagyaji and her son Grinesh Bhagya, as well as by Ushaji's sister and cousin Induji and Kalaji for several programs. There were sponsorship made by Aarti Shah from Creamstone, Akita Malhotra and Zeni Momaya from Namdari Gaurav Navratri Utsav. For any further queries or doubts, kindly message me on my personal window. I will get back to you as soon as possible for the further clarification. Thank you.
Thank you, Zeni, for making the account so very clear to all of us and also knowing us know who are the great sponsors. It is indeed a pleasure to move ahead now. And let me say that hard work and diligence are essential to success, but they require an internal motivation. Such motivation is vision. I now take the privilege of inviting a lady with such a vision, the managing trustee of Sanskriti Shikhar, Ms. Toral Desai, to kindly say a few words. Over to Mrs. Toral Desai.
Good afternoon, members. Hope you all are all doing well. I know this is a long meeting, but I'll take a few minutes only. On March 18, 2020, the Efficient Trust Board, including the chairperson, Mrs. Neelam Kapadia, our managing trustee, Dr. Kumud Dharia, and everyone took a joint decision to lock down the physio center and the yoga center before the government announced the lockdown of the nation. This was done to protect the staff and the patients coming in. Till date, the center is unoperational. Our new committee, trust committee, consists of Mrs. Renu Jeevan, she is the chairperson, Mrs. Vidya Kapadia, she is the vice chairperson. I'm the managing trustee and the treasurer.
Toral is Renu Swarup, not Renu Jeevan.
Sorry, Renu Swarup. Sorry, my mistake. Renu Swarup is the chairperson. Mrs. Vidya Kapadia is the co-chairperson. I'm the managing trustee, along with the treasurer, taking help from Mrs. Falguni Ravi, Shilpa Sangani, Nisha Shah, Kavita Bhatia, Shivani Shroff, Heer Pujala, Usha Bhagya and Aarti Shah are on the trust board. The center will get operational once things get better. So the working committee, which consists of Triveni Shah, Sheetal Shah, Rachna Rathi, Falguni Ravi, Hira Rupani, Rekha Bhandari, and Vanna Shetty. Please pull up your socks and be ready. Members will be informed on about the center once it is operational on the bulletin. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mrs. Thoral, for all the updates. Moving ahead, I humbly request Mrs. Faguni Ravi to kindly present the audited accounts of Sanskriti Shikhar. Over to Mrs. Faguni Ravi.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies. Sanskriti Shikhar Trust decided to stop running the school for the differently abled children in March 2019. After settling the salary dues, terminal benefits to school staff, maintenance of the building, repairs and renovation was done, and a decision to start the physiotherapy center and yoga center was taken. In its own premises, it started operating a physiotherapy center and yoga center from October 2019. And the trust has also rented out the second floor area on rent to Helping Hands School at the rate of rupees 5,500 per month from October 2019 onwards. An inaugural event for the physiotherapy center was held in March 2020 to increase the doctors' network, media publicity, and awareness. The details of receipts and payments account for the year ended 31st March 2020, which is financial year April 2019 to March 2020, because this is audited accounts. This is as follows. Receipts. The cash balance on hand brought forward was 3,477. Bank balance available in two bank accounts was 5,34,893. From the physiotherapy receipts from October to March, the fees received was 58,275, and from the yoga center fees was 5,000 rupees. Interest earned on the fixed deposits was 3,06,573. Interest earned on the SB balances was 24,795. Miscellaneous income from the sale of scrap and miscellaneous things was 11,847. Rent received from school was 33,000 from Helping Hands School. Donations received from the donors were 1,63,000. And we had to close some FDs for settlement of terminal benefits. So the proceeds of fixed deposits closure was 14,35,619. And refund received on the income tax excess paid was 1,16,390. Out of which the school expenses were such: the staff salaries paid for the month of March, which was paid in April actually, was 2,20,460. Terminal benefits paid out was 8,98,650. Transportation charges incurred during the March was 4,111. Repairs and maintenance between April and September were 1,74,913. Electricity expenses was 14,661. Once the physiotherapy center opened, the equipment purchase for setting up the physiotherapy center was 2,01,702. The inaugural event and the media publicity expenses was 1,13,115. Staff salaries paid out was 1,86,000. The administrative expenses were such: printing and stationery was 5,889. Telephone expenses 3,385. Conveyance charges 1,682, bank charges 134, miscellaneous general expenses for gas cylinders, water, everything was 11,843. Property tax paid out because it's a own property 4,500. So the cash balance remaining at when we closed down the center for due to coronavirus, remaining on hand is 8,437, and the bank balance is 8,43,387. From the March, ever since the closing of the center, there has been no operation. None of us have visited. We are paying for the watchman to just keep an eye and getting the premises cleaned and maintained. So presently we hold bank FDs to the tune of 50 lakhs, and bank balance, as I've already mentioned, is 8,43,387. The cash balance we had is 8,437. Thank you. Any other, if you have any doubts, I mean, we have an audited copy from the Ramkishan Banga Associates, and we can address that separately. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Falguni. I'd like to say that words do two major things. They provide food for the mind and create light for understanding and awareness. And I'm sure we all are eagerly waiting to know more about our guest speaker. And with this, I would request Ms. Akita Malhotra to please introduce us to our esteemed guest speaker. Over to Ms. Akita Malhotra.
Thank you, Benita. Good afternoon. It's my honor to introduce Mrs. Aruna Ravikumar Rachkonda, one of the first women journalists based out of Hyderabad with an impeccable experience of 3 decades in both print and electronic media. In addition to being a journalist, she is a remarkable author, translator, documentary filmmaker, and anchor, covering special stories and interviews on reputed channels like ETV, Bhakti TV, NTV, Doordarshan, Gemini TV, and CNN, to name a few. Her journey with journalism began with the print media as a trainee with Newstime, an English newspaper of the Enalic Group of Publications in the year 1986. She continues to write for website, newspapers, and magazines, and is a regular contributor and columnist for the Heinz India newspaper from Hyderabad. Today, she's going to enlighten us with MLM frauds and would make us aware on the day-to-day financial matters. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Akita, for the introduction.
Thank you.
I would like to say that to be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is an honor. I'd like to extend a special welcome to our guest speaker. And it's a great pleasure for me to invite Mrs. Arunaji Ravikumar Rachkonda, who has always worn the tailored suit of success and challenge, to talk about a subject in which we all should be deeply interested, because it's by avoiding financial mistakes that we can best ensure our financial futures. So may I request our guest speaker to kindly take over. Over to Mrs. Arunaji Ravikumar Rachkonda. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for the kind words of introduction and warm welcome. It's a great honor to be talking to all these empowered women of the Sanskriti group. I would like to avoid cliches today. Behind every successful woman, there is the family, as you know. But I believe that behind every successful woman, there is also a whole tribe of other successful women. And I would like to applaud one such group, the Sanskriti group, who get together to learn, to appreciate, to encourage, to applaud, and to explore different facets of life as empowered women. More power to you. And while talking about empowerment, in my long stint in the media, I've noticed that empowerment is much more than financial stability. Empowerment is an attitude, it is a confidence, it is an idea, it's the belief in yourself. I would beseech all women to love yourself, to be confident about your abilities, and to realize that the sky is the limit. Of course, gender parity is still far away. We notice that in every sphere, but we also have a whole lot of women who have broken glass ceilings and who have achieved many, many things unimaginable a couple of years ago. So I'm glad to be speaking to empowered women. And before I go to the subject of MLMs and financial awareness, which is a major part of empowerment, I feel, I would like Pranay to show you a short film which was made to show the stories of victims of MLM frauds, those who have been cheated into a business idea and who have lost a lot of money, relationships, and self-esteem. So I think that will set the stage for my speech later.
I'm Uma Maheshwar Rao. I'm 79 years plus. I retired about 20 years ago after 36 and a half years of service.
मैं किरण सामंत हूँ, उड़ीसा से बिलोंग्स करता हूँ. आई केम टू हैदराबाद ड्यूरिंग 2013. MBA कंप्लीट करने के लिए आया था.
7 years after my retirement, retired in 1999. In 2006, August 15th, I saw a newspaper item issued by VC Sajjanar. We are dealing with cases of multi-level marketing. And so I immediately got in touch with him because my own kith and kin were involved with Amway, a multi-level marketing scheme which is well known and it has got worldwide network. So my people were affected.
नॉर्मली फ्रेंड लोग को सब लोग बिलीव करते हैं और ये लोग जैसे चीटिंग करते हैं, कोई भी मीन्स इतना गिरा हुआ भी नहीं रहता है.
The people who fall into this are gullible. Some are greedy and don't give a second thought what it's all about. How can we make easy money? There is no way in this world to make easy money.
So I was in a confused situation like whether to join or not. She catch hold of that point and say that this is the right time you can join and you can earn money that you can give it to your parents to look after the hospital expenses and all.
ఒక బిజినెస్ ప్లాన్ చూపించారు. ఏంటంటే 1:2 రేషియోలో మనం జాయిన్ చేయాలి. సో జాయిన్ చేస్తే ఏమవుతుందంటే మనీ వస్తుంది. సో ఈ ప్లాన్ అనేది నాకు జాయిన్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు చెప్పలేరు. ఏమన్నారంటే జాయిన్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు ఓన్లీ నువ్వు జాయిన్గా నీకు కంప్యూటర్ కోర్స్ వస్తుంది, నువ్వు నేర్చుకున్నాడు కంప్యూటర్ కోర్స్ వస్తుంది, దాని తర్వాత నెలకి మనీ అనేది డబుల్ అవుతుంది అన్నారు.
సో ఎలా అంటే కంప్లీట్గా నా మైండ్ అంతా డైవర్ట్ అయ్యేటట్టు మాట్లాడారు. ఎలా అంటే అసలు నీ డ్రీమ్స్ ఏంటి, నువ్వు ఎలా అచీవ్ అంటే నేను IAS అని చెప్పాను. బట్ ఆ IAS అవ్వాలంటే నీకు ఎన్ని ఇయర్స్ పడుతుంది అనేసి అడిగారు నన్ను. డెఫినెట్లీ 3 to 4 years అవుతుంది అనేసి నేను చెప్పాను. బట్ అదే 3 to 4 years నువ్వు ఇక్కడ కష్టపడితే నీ లైఫ్ అనేది కంప్లీట్గా 360 degrees చేంజ్ అయిపోతుందని చెప్పాను నాకు.
मेरा जॉब जाने के बाद मेरा भी कंडीशन ख़राब हो गया था, तो मेरा जो भी EPF एंड PF अमाउंट था उससे मैं मैनेज किया, क्योंकि घर पे भी नहीं बताया था क्योंकि पापा का तबीयत भी ठीक नहीं था.
Because seeing young people being brainwashed and being carried away by many people. You see, individually we think in one way. 2 people combine, they took in a different way. 10 people gather, they think in a there is what is on the collective mind. That collective mind is different from the individual mind.
So within seconds నా అకౌంట్లోకి మనీ పడ్డాయి. తర్వాత వాళ్ళు ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేసేసుకున్నారు మనీ విత్ ద స్వైప్, కార్డ్ స్వైప్.
तो उस टाइम कितना 3.6 लाख लिया.
మీరు మాకు కట్టారా, ఏమైనా ప్రూఫ్స్ ఉన్నాయా? సో బాండ్ పేపర్స్ కూడా మాకు ఇచ్చేది కాదు. ఏదో బాండ్ పేపర్స్ మీద సిగ్నేచర్ పెట్టుకొని మాకు ఇచ్చేది కాదు. సో వాళ్ళ దగ్గర పెట్టుకునేది అనమాట. ఏమైనా ప్రూఫ్స్ ఉన్నాయా అసలు మీ దగ్గర? ఏం లేవు, ఏం చేసుకుంటారో చేసుకోండి, పోయి హాంకాంగ్లో అడుక్కోండి కంపెనీని అంటే కంపెనీని చూసైతే మేము కట్టలేదు కదా.
Putting my money and other things is, I consider it as a very small problem. I can weather it. I could weather it. But changing the mind of the people, it took time. Changing the mind of the people to see reason, that is the most difficult part.
अगर भगवान नहीं होते तो ये इधर भाग जाता, क्योंकि भगवान है इसलिए ये प्रूफ है कि उसका पूरा क्लोज फ्रेंड को पता है. जब तक पुलिस अरेस्ट किया है पूरा क्लोज फ्रेंड को पता है, बट कोई भी नहीं बताया उसको.
నా బెస్ట్ ఫ్రెండ్సే నాకు ఏంటంటే రివర్స్ అయిపోయారు, దూరం అయిపోయారు. చాలా మంది జాయిన్ అయిన కూడా దూరం అయిపోయారు, జాయిన్ కావాలి కూడా దూరం అయినారు.
చాలా అంటే అక్కడ నుంచి వచ్చేసాక ఇక్కడ ఫ్రెండ్స్తో చెప్పుకోలేక, ఇక్కడ పేరెంట్స్తో చెప్పుకోలేక, ఎలా అంటే ఫుల్ టార్చర్ అనుభవించాను. దిస్ ఈజ్ మై స్టోరీ.
ఇది నా కథ.
I told my story.
ये मेरा कहानी है.
దిస్ ఈజ్ మై స్టోరీ.
So this was a short film which was made during the launch of my book called Marauders of Hope, where I wrote about MLM frauds. But I wanted you to see it so that you would have an idea of the different cross sections of society who were victims of multi-level marketing frauds. So why am I talking to women about this? Because 3/4 of the people recruited under MLMs are women. You know, in America, they have the 3 M's. They call moms, Mormons, and military spouses. These people, these 3 M's are of women, are the largest number of victims. They are recruited because you have these advertisements saying, do you want to be your independent business owner? Do you want to earn millions of rupees in a short time? Do you want to be your own boss? So we have this, this kind of, and can you just stay at home and make your millions? Just use your network and it will determine your net worth. So these are all catchy phrases and advertisements used by multi-level marketing companies. So I would give you the definition of multi-level marketing. If you ask me what is multi-level marketing, these are companies that not only believe in sales, but they believe in commissions based on recruitment. So their products are not available in the open market, and they have to be bought from the distributors. So most of the names like Amway, Tupperware, Herbalife, Forever Living products, you must have heard, many of you would have heard of all these products. How long these companies have been around? They've been around for a long time. In fact, some of your moms may have been giving MLM parties when you were still having your diapers changed. That is how old these companies are. So they use aggressive marketing techniques to catch your attention. And it seems like a very easy proposition because all of us have our network of family and friends. So it seems very easy. Simply use and sell these products and make money. It seems like a very easy idea, but it is an impossible dream. It is a dream sold with the full knowledge that the scheme itself is unviable because the business model, the pyramid schemes, as you recruit more and more people, it forms a pyramid, 1, 2, 4, 6, 9, and they have different models, 9, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, they have different models. So each person has to get 3 others, 3 have to get 6, that kind of recruitment. And then to join as a representative, you have to pay up a joining amount and you have to buy a product, certain amount of product every month and sell it yourself. So there's this double stress of selling your products yourself and then recruiting members, which is compulsory in an MLM model. So they're known as direct selling or referral selling or network marketing. And they use catchphrases, which are very, very simple. And women are most gullible because you have women who look at part-time jobs, or you keep the job and use this as a part-time, just use your network and make money, or homemakers who may have the money. And this is not confined to just people who need the money. Let me tell you, it goes across all sections of people: the well-to-do, the middle class, the poor, the students. As you saw in the film, one of the girls, she was studying for IAS and she was approached by these people, and they asked her, how long will it take you to clear your exam? She said 3 or 4 years. So she said in these 4 years, you can make your millions, you can make more money than your entire career. So that's how she was lured into joining one of these firms. And people have lost everything. They have not made money. First thing is they've gotten into debt, and they have lost on their relationships, because if you become a representative first, you will approach your closest friends and your family. Hey, there's a good business opportunity. Why don't you join? So it becomes an obligation. If you see in your social circles also, if somebody is hosting a party and they have some product to sell and they say, hey, come, and you go there, you're compelled to buy a product because you don't want to look bad, you don't want to lose your friend. But then this can give a false feeling that, this is a very good opportunity, because this doesn't last long. And many times people start paying the joining amounts because they have to show people joining. They start paying the amounts themselves, and that's how they land into this vicious circle of debt. And as I said, if this model has to work, if it really doesn't break and works, the entire world population would have been covered in 14 cycles. That's what the research says. And but why are these companies growing so big. And most of these companies, as you see, are multinational companies. They are in America or in Europe, and they deal with weight loss and beauty and all the products that are very interesting for women. So they survive. They are illegal actually in America itself. Amway was declared illegal, but you know, these companies, they make huge profits, and they buy out. They are bailed out of different cases. And what happens is when the business is closed temporarily, they resurface with a different name in a different state, and they start the operations with different victims. Some of you may feel, okay, what's the big deal? We can get out of it. If you don't like it, you can get out of it immediately. But it doesn't work that way, because these people, like, they work on your mind. They use cult-like techniques. They don't allow you to get out of it. In fact, they use something called, when they lecture you, they have these discussions in star hotels. They have a talk on a Sunday, and they'll encourage you to come, just listen to this talk, and they'll show you films and profiles of success about people who've made billions. Yes, some people would have made the money, but it is only confined to a very, very small percentage of the promoters themselves, or the early birds, as I would say. But as you go along the way, the people don't make money. But after coming out of their conferences in these posh hotels, you feel like you are like impassioned warriors out to conquer the world, because that's the kind of brainwashing they do. So they use this boiling frog kind of technique. So if you put a frog in very hot boiling water, the frog will jump out because it knows it's not comfortable environment. But if you put it in lukewarm water, it feels very comfortable. And what do? Okay, they make you feel comfortable and gradually increase the temperature and bring it to a boiling point. And then you're cooked to death. There's no way you can come out of it. So these companies came to India post-liberalization. They formed an association called the Direct Selling Association, IDSA, Indian Direct Sellers Association. The Americans have their own association, and their stories of victims of different products all over America. But like I said, they become very powerful. They make their millions. They put this money into charity. They get out of lawsuits. They hobnob with all the powers that be. And it is difficult to shut their operations. So what do? I think awareness is the best medicine. So if there are no victims, these companies can't survive for long, isn't it? So I have spoken to a lot of people over the last 2 years, and wherever I've gone to 13 different cities, and wherever I've gone, there have been victims and victims and victims. Of course, there are people who've challenged my argument also, because maybe they are some of the people who made money in the initial days. But largely, these people in the pyramid model, they build their profits on the graves of millions of people who have lost their money. It's an unethical, unviable business model which is being paraded. And you see, and why do I talk about it now more than ever? Because now they're using both offline and online methods. Now you have these, they used ads like Queen uses Tupperware, so to get you. So forget whether the products are good or not. Of course, most of the products are spurious products also. Like they sell you weight loss products, they sell you some, placebos. You're taking more vitamins that your body doesn't require. And many doctors educated people. It's not confined to people. And there's no qualification required to join as a representative, by the way. So people from all walks of life have become victims. They have sold. So these companies came to India post-liberalization, and they started their activities, and a lot of people fell prey to it. And they sold mattresses. For instance, there was a company called Japan Life that sold mattresses that cost 5,000 rupees for 1 lakh. And what did they say? They said that if you sleep on these mattresses, all your ailments will be cured. You'll be disease-free. And this is one of the miracles of science, modern science, and you have to buy in. And a lot of doctors became distributors. They made their wives distributors. They bought these worthless beds, which don't really change anything. And until people started losing money, and they realized this product doesn't mean anything, and they've been dumped with a substandard product. and the police came in and arrested him. And in India, it's illegal. It's banned under an act called the PCMCS Act, Price Chits and Money Circulation Schemes Banning Act of 1978. But still, the companies continue to thrive because they find the victims. So now what is the answer? The answer is how to become a victim yourself. How do you know what is an MLM scheme? So what are the signs of an MLM scheme? I'll tell you how to recognize, because all these products look very popular and these names are very, very big. So the first sign is get rich quick schemes. There's no way you can get rich quickly without any effort, just using your network. And they'll tell you, keep your mind open. Don't listen to people who want to stall your progress because they'll be jealous that you make so much money. They'll tell you your mind and a parachute work best when they are open. So these are the kind of things that they tell you to lure you into it. And the aggressive marketing is one of the first signs. Aggressive marketing. When people start chasing you, come on, become a distributor, get your friends, get your family. Aggressive marketing, sales pitches, then any model of sales based on commission and recruitment on commission. That is definitely an MLM model because it has different levels. And they cannot be direct selling companies because direct selling means like the old doodwala or somebody who's coming home and giving you. This is not like that. I would call that direct selling, or the vegetable vendors in the old days. But these have different levels of distributors, and they are called uplines. Once you have your own network, they are called uplines, and the people you recruit are called the downlines. So your uplines are sitting in America and Europe and other countries, and they are getting a commission on all the sales and recruitment that you do. So there is money laundering involved, there's unethical business involved, there is commission going to somebody else for your work, and you never get the money in your hands actually, because all the commission is given in value points, point values, PVs they're called. And then they have different levels. They say you're an emerald, they use precious stones, gold, you're a silver distributor, you're a gold distributor. So you go up the market, and they use celebrities to endorse their products. So these are all the signs of multi-level marketing. Aggressive marketing, cult-like techniques. Cult-like techniques is when they call you for their conferences, they'll say that all of you are members of one huge family. And in their speeches, they'll give out the name of the company. Say there's some X company. When they say X company, they all say one family. So just imagine a chorus of 1,000 people shouting one family. So we are all in this to grow together. They'll all shout, grow together in a chorus. So these are companies that have opened up all over the world, not only in India. India is a happy hunting ground, but in the poorest of poor countries, in Uganda, in Nigeria, in different parts of the world, these companies operate, they make their millions, and they escape arrest, and they claim legality because they make they have their illegal money, which they pump into legal businesses. So some of you may have heard the name of Ponzi schemes also. Some schemes are known as Ponzi schemes. In these Ponzi schemes, there are no products involved, but a lot of money with huge interest. Give me your money and I'll give you. So in 60 days, I'll give you double this, or, the interest is so attractive, much more attractive than all the banks. Of course, now our banks are also not bankable. That's another story altogether. But, this kind of luring happens all the time. And as women, I think you should be aware of these schemes. That's why I've given you the signs of a scheme. And then when you have an old school friend or college friend calling you after so many years, and then telling you about this good business opportunity, hey, it seems casual, but they're chasing you, tracking you down. They want you in their network, and then you, without your knowledge, you become a victim. So instead of crying over spilt milk, it's better to be aware in different sections of all these acts. And the products are endless. In fact, these people sell everything from filling in online forms. They had a big scam, and they had something called QNet, Gold Quest. They sold gold coins, saying that they were minted in Germany and they have antique value, and a coin costing something like 3,000 or 4,000, they sold it for 32,000. That's because they can easily fool people by claiming that, these are not available, these are restricted products, they are special products, you have to take it from a distributor. So in my book, actually, I've written more of these stories. But anyway, it's not about the book. I would say that you should shun this kind of business idea which steals you of your friends and family. In olden days, when LIC agents or somebody approached, people would say, Hari Baba, LIC agent is coming, dur hai, and I say, that kind of that fear used to be there. Now you have these MLM people unleashed, saying that opportunity to make money is limitless, which is very, very wrong. So in the internet, you have Facebook parties, you have Instagram parties, you have on Twitter, they're using all the social media tools. In fact, there is this the term called boss babes. Boss babes and CEOs. A CEO, instead of CEO, they're saying CEOs. So you want to be the CEO of your own company. You want to be a boss babe without having to answer to anybody. You're your own boss and you make your millions, and then you're independent in every way. You can have that dream car, you can have that wonderful vacation, you can do many things that you could not do otherwise. So these are all coins, phrases that lure you into doing all this. And unfortunately, during the pandemic, in the last 1 year, these schemes, 63% of MLM schemes have reported profits. Why? Many people lost their jobs. Many people had a lot of time. Many people didn't know what to do with their time. So this was a wonderful opportunity to give some of these lectures, motivational speeches, reach out to people through online platforms and get more victims. And unfortunately, what they anticipated happened. In fact, there was an article in the Times. There was an article in the Times in America about these schemes, and the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, sent notices to about 16 well-known companies. But okay, in the Indian scenario also, this subject, a lot of arrests have been made. In fact, our state of Telangana is one of the states, the United Andhra Pradesh. The CEO of Amway was arrested and kept in remand for 14 days, which is a record. But of course, they got away, as they always do. And we've had some wonderful officers like Mr. V.C. Sajjanar. He has acted on so many schemes like this. But unfortunately, they always, when it comes to the court cases and judgments and, the different agencies monitoring it, because the Reserve Bank is there, the SFIO, there are about 16 organizations. And this passing the buck mentality is there. Nobody wants to take action. Why should I be the bad person? So who will bell the cat? Everybody says, yeah, this, and when they try to arrest somebody, you get pressure from political lobbies, of course. And this is where these illegal schemes are thriving. They are multiplying, they're finding victims. And in fact, we had a lot of IT employees also, a lot of women also among these IT employees joining as distributors. And recently, in the last 1 year, 3 people committed suicide. 24, 25-year-olds who lost 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs. It seems like the end of the road for them. They feel there's nothing to do. And the worst part of this thing is that you feel cheated by your own friends and relatives who bring you into these schemes. So not only do you lose your money, but you lose your relationships, and that is the feeling that you just can't handle. The loss of trust. And these marauding corporations, they will stop at nothing in enticing you, luring you, keeping you there, and seeing that you don't get through. Of course, there are many, many examples, but I wouldn't like to go into the serious details of all these things. But I think you would have had a rough idea about these schemes and the unviable model and how women are the victims. So I would, when you're talking about empowerment, as you pointed out in your introduction, I would say that empowerment means not being fooled into believing something that doesn't work for you. Not only that, as one of the judges observed in one cases, these are schemes where you are fooled and you are trained to fool others. So once you know that it's an unviable scheme, it is your bounden duty not to be a part of it, not to encourage your friends and relatives to join these courses, to join these schemes, and not to fall prey to false, because false schemes somehow look more attractive than always the truth. False attracts you more than the truth. But the truth is that these are illegal schemes, and whatever people may argue about their veracity, I've had people who argued with me endlessly at different meetings. But then the fact that we have such a large number of victims, and the tribe of victims is growing. It's a very sad state of affairs. So I would beseech women not to fall prey. Show that you're intelligent women by not falling for these schemes, by identifying MLMs when you see them, and by knowing that these are not direct selling. They are definitely not direct selling. They are playing on your mind, and they are creating a vacuum in your life. They're destroying you financially, individually, morally, ethically, in every way. So don't become a victim. Awareness, like vaccination, awareness keeps you safe from these schemes. And the pandemic has made it worse. And please, all those women who are online, don't fall for this boss babes and CEO kind of terminology. It's better to stay away from fraud and do your own thing. Of course, it's nice to see women grow, and there are a lot more opportunities in ethical businesses. And we have seen how time and challenges have thrown up different opportunities, and how human beings survive in the worst kind of situations. I would like all the women to be strong, be aware, and be empowered. If anyone would like to ask any questions, you're welcome. But I think this kind of sums up. If you have any doubts, I'd be happy to answer.
As it has been put up by Aarti Shah in the chat, that in case any members want to ask any questions, kindly send the questions to the chat box where our esteemed guest speaker could answer. In the meanwhile, as we have questions which are typed by the members, in case we have any, I would just like to say that thanks, Aruna ji, so much. And as you said, that empowerment is not only restricted to financial stability, it's the attitude, the ability, and the awareness, as we have right now understood about it. And you've really educated us about a subject, I think, which we were all aware of, all these names which you have just spoken now, Tupperware, I think it's in all the households. But I think we were really lacking that awareness, and we were not so educated about it, that what it exactly is. So thank you so much. What I am feeling is that it is surely, like I'm having a deep feeling which is resonating in me, a feeling of awareness. And it is, in fact, powerful. And I'm sure we all must be feeling the same at Sanskriti. I think we are really blessed to have you here today. And yes, I think we have a question there. So,
yeah. What is the governing authority to limit scope?
Prerna?
Yeah.
Prerna
Yes, Prerna. That's a good question. But the thing is, yeah, I read the question. The thing is, there's no one authority. This is a central act, and the action has to be taken by the state government. So arrests have to be made by a state government, and then, of course, they go to the court, win the cases in the High Court, then they go to the Supreme Court. And right now, we don't have any one body. That's what I was thinking, that we should have a separate agencies to, coordinate all the actions and take collective action. Right now, that is lacking, and that is what we expect from the government. Because if you have 16 agencies with different, things, like you had these scams in tea plantations, they had, as like I said, products are a cover. So when it comes to plantations or something scam, they'll say it's the agriculture department. Somebody says it's the Reserve Bank. Somebody says it's a serious frauds investigation office. There are 16 agencies right now, but no one agency which is empowered to act on these. And we need an agency like that. We are lacking in that. And I think more awareness, as the awareness increases, I think the government, we have to be so aware and talk about it to such an extent that the government is compelled to act. Right now, there's no compulsion because they fund even political parties, unfortunately.
So with this, I think we have the answer to what was asked by Prerna especially. And I could say that knowledge is having the right answer, and intelligence is the art of asking the perfect question. And this definitely at Sanskruti we can see today that we have the confluence of intelligence and knowledge. And I think it's really time now that we have the Lady Sanskruti to be chosen. And for this, I would request our multifaceted guest speaker, Mrs. Aruna ji, to please ask our members a question based on today's session. And the members would send the answers in the chat box. The first correct answer would be conferred as the Lady Sanskruti, which will be announced by the Joint Secretary, Mrs. Rama Patwa. So, ma'am, maybe have the question from you. We all are looking forward to give instant answers with what we all have grasped today from the session.
Okay. So I would ask you, how would you, after listening to this talk, like many of you are aware of the products and the companies, but you're not aware of the modus operandi of these companies and the fact that they are making profits and the money is going outside India and that many people don't make money. So you know that these are fraudulent schemes. So how would you, in your capacity, use this talk to build awareness in your own way? I think that would be interesting, because otherwise I would feel it's a monologue, and I would want to know the impact of my talk today, because I think in this question lies the answer. Because when you listen to something, obviously you should be forced to act, and should be inspired to act, not forced. Forced is the wrong word. You should be inspired to act on it. So information. Share your book. Somebody's written share your book. Okay, that's nice. Any more answers coming?
Yes, I'm sure they are typing, and I think we could just wait for
Don't
another
buy
2
the
minutes.
product. Yeah, I think you should give them time. Yeah. Don't go for easy money. Please make small YouTube videos on this. Make it viral. Wonderful that we had this session, because most of these sessions are from MLMs, trying to lure more victims. And I think this session is very important, because we get people who increase their awareness, and then probably will they in their own way spread the word. First thing is they'll be aware themselves, which is a big step. Nice. Oh, you got the video link. Yeah, so giving awareness to yeah.
So I think our members have already finished answering the question. And if you could have the name from you, ma'am, whom you really feel that has answered your question in the best way. And I would like Rama to kindly announce the Lady Sanskruti for today.
Yeah. I like my friend Hira's reply, share your book, but this is not what it's not a sales about my book, but that's why I won't be able to give it to Hiya. But I think Prerna was the first one to respond, and I kind of liked her the manner in which she's made a suggestion also. So Prerna it is.
So that's great, Prerna. And may we have the official announcement from Rama, please, towards the Lady Sanskriti. I request Rama to kindly do
Thank you,
that.
Arunaji. Yeah. Thank you, Arunaji. And congratulations, Prerna. You are the Lady Sanskriti for the day. Thank you.
So congratulations, Prerna.
Can we see Prerna? Yeah, can we see Prerna?
Yeah.
Prerna, it would be lovely to have you on screen, and it would be
Hi,
nice
everyone.
that we could all congratulate you. Congratulations,
Hi,
Prerna.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. It was very informative and love being part of it. And thank you for arranging this. It was great. It was a great session.
Thank
Thank you.
Prerna.
And thank you so much, Arunaji, for being here and making us all so very aware. It was a really informative session, and in fact, I could say that from morning when we began, that was exactly 11:35. It has really been all very informative. First, it was from our own Sanskriti Club activities and all that we got to learn, and now it's through your speech, what you have told us, and made us so very aware regarding all these financial matters, what we really should be careful of. So thank you so much on behalf of Sanskriti for being here with us. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful seeing all of you and your enthusiasm. And I hope to be back with you sometime again.
Definitely, we too look forward for such more greater awareness where we can also learn so much and be more aware about things. And with this now, I'm sure we all would agree that it's been an enchanting morning to noon with a knowledgeable session. And as we are nearing the completion, I could say that success is completion. Success is being able to complete what we set out to do. And I'm sure we all would agree to this. With this, now I request Ms. Aarti Shah for the vote of thanks.
Firstly, I would like to thank every one of you for your wishes and blessing. I, Aarti Shah, on behalf of Sanskriti, extend heartfelt thanks to our speaker, Ms. Aruna Ravi Kumar, for being here and making this day so special for us. And we got to know so much about the web of deception. Your thoughts have enlightened our mind and got awareness among our members. We all have enjoyed the informative talk on women empowerment. Thank you, founders and coordinators, who all inspired us to do our best and stand as a pillar of power. I'm happy to express thanks to our members who have made this web event a grand success. Thank you, Ms. Divya Marda, for the melodious bhajan. Thank you, Ms. Benita Sethia. We are overwhelmed to have you here with us. I would also like to thank the team who worked behind the screen to execute the event, our technical arrangement, Pranay Rupani, for conducting the events flawlessly. The wheels started moving about a week ago. It requires planning and a bird eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be supported by a team of very active and dedicated committee who all are very well versed in their jobs. Thank you so much.